Be me. Have a slight case of the aughts. Be put in Tard HQ. See black kid that can barely walk. He's not really hurting anyone, so I decide not to bother him. Be me, standing in the hallway. See this kid with his Wrangler come down the hallway. As soon as this kid gets close to me, he curls up his fist and goes in to punch me in the fucking dick. I dodge. What the fuck, nigger.jpg? Kid does a little retard laugh and his Tard Wrangler carries him away. Be me. Be introduced to another aughts boy. We become friends. Be put into a class full of high-functioning autists. Let me introduce you to Class 01-A. There are 2 Asian twins in the class. We will refer to them as the Super Chink Bros. A tall, skinny black kid who doesn't shut the fuck up to save his life. We'll be referring to him as Q-Tip. A girl who also doesn't shut the fuck up to save her own life, except this time she's even more annoying than Q-Tip. We will refer to her as the human equivalent of a torture chamber, or THETC for short. I'm probably just gonna call her Thet. A kid afflicted with the Downs, but is pretty chill, probably because his parents actually raised him right. We'll be referring to him as Chromosome Snake. And then there's the teacher. We'll refer to her as Gruntilda, as she has a giant fucking nose like a witch. Me and aughts boy number 2 will refer to him as Edgier Raiden, as he's an extremely edgy fuck and will probably eat your entire family if he had the chance. Be me, sitting next to Edgier Raiden. Me and Edgier Raiden talking about random shit, until one of the Super Chink Bros butts into the conversation for no reason whatsoever. He starts talking like he's a fucking messiah, telling us that electronics are bad and books are good. Shit like that. The fuck.png. We weren't even talking about any of that. I ignore the kid and keep talking to Edgier Raiden. Super Chink Bro number 1 butts in again, and keeps going on about technology bad. This guy probably saw one of those Prince EA videos and now thinks he's a fucking god amongst men. I tell him to fuck off. He sits back down in his seat. Me and Edgier Raiden continue conversation. He fucking butts in again 5 minutes later. Maybe you wouldn't be such a dick if you weren't on that damn 3DS all day. What? Start to feel like this kid is just borderline insane. Everything became 10 times more awkward that day. Be me. Walk into class. See that Edgier Raiden is being tortured by Thet. She keeps talking about The Legend of Zelda or some shit like that. Edgier Raiden keeps telling her to fuck off, but she laughs and continues. At this point, I forgot to mention that Thet is a sadistic retard that lives off of annoying people. She's obsessed with the Legend of Zelda series and the movie Sing. Apparently, while I wasn't there, Thet confessed her love to Edgier Raiden. Edgier Raiden, of course, refused. Thet continued to confess her love for the majority of the time me and Edgier Raiden were there. She couldn't take a fucking hint or even a straight up no. One day, she hands me a note and tells me to hand it to Edgier Raiden. At this point, I was tired of her shit, as she liked to torture me too. I decide to fuck with her. I crumple up the note and throw it in the garbage. Mentalbreakdown.exe loading. She slowly gets more and more upset every minute. About 5 minutes later, she's screaming and flailing on the floor. Hehe XD. Her cry was like no other. It was a mixture of rees and the wailing sobs of a seal. A lot of Hehe XDs were shared that day. Be me. This one takes place before I met Edgier Raiden. Meet Chromosome Snake for the first time. Immediately hate him, because he always stares at me. One day I snap and call him an abomination of mankind. Every time he stared at me from now on, I would say even worse shit. Chromosome Snake doesn't even react to it. Most of the time he'd just say, "Not nice," and move on. One day I start feeling bad for all the shit I said to him. I apologize to him for all the shit that I said. He goes, "It's alright," and gives me a high five. God bless Chromosome Snake and his pure, wholesome heart. Be me. Another day in class with Edgier Raiden. Me and Edgier Raiden are talking, as per usual. Gruntilda decides to put on a movie for us. She puts on some gay Barbie movie for the other kids. Me and edgier Raiden are now quietly having a conversation as not to disturb the kids who are actually watching the movie. This is when Thet comes up to us and starts fucking screaming about random shit. Fucking Christ.mp4. We tell her to shut the fuck up and that other kids are trying to watch a movie. She ignores and goes on, screaming about Frank Sinatra for some reason. At this point, there's nothing we can do. Because no matter how many times we tell her to fuck off, she continues to annoy us. A few minutes later of non-stop torture, Chromosome Snake decides he's had enough of Thet's shit, and yells, "Shut up!" This is the first time I've seen Chromosome Snake actually snap. Gruntilda joins in and tells Thet to get out of class, as everyone is tired of her shit. Mentalbreakdown.exe. Thet starts crying. She starts screaming louder than anything I've ever heard before. Q-Tip tries to calm her down at one point, but it's no use. Me and edgier Raiden both keck. Be me, get notified that a new kid is coming into the classroom right next to us. The kid walks in. I immediately recognize him as I've met him in the previous school that I went to that got shut down for unknown reasons. We'll call him Dr. Hal. Tarticon. Forgot to mention that this is before the era of edgier Raiden. There's also another kid that I know from my previous school there. We'll name him Retarder Ocelot. I greet Tarticon, and thus begins our second chapter. Be me, chilling in class, playing my 3DS. Hear screaming. It's Retarder Ocelot for some reason. Don't know exactly what happened, but I remember what he fucking did when he got sent into a room to cool off by himself. This kid punched a hole through a fucking wall with the strength of 1,000,000 angry niggers. Keep in mind, this kid is like 8 years old and his arms are scrawny as shit. Yet somehow he managed to falcon punch a thick wall that is almost as hard as concrete. Goes to show you the power of Tard's strength, and how it could potentially end the fucking world as we know it. This one takes place after my adventures at Tard HQ. Be me, get put into a mental ward because I'm being a little emo fuck who keeps trying to kill himself. This is where we meet Unit 01-B. I arrive at the ward. The first thing I see is this ginger bitch wailing on a tall kid. The tall kid will be referred to as Slender Man, due to how fucking skinny this kid was. Apparently the ginger bitch, will refer to her as Redstone, had a huge crush on Slender Man, and because he refused, she went nigger mode. She would even say the creepiest shit to Slender Man, saying shit like how she would like to twerk on his cock. She was 14. Slender Man was 17. Yikes.jpg. She was also extremely ghetto despite being the biggest twink that I've ever seen. She screams ghetto speak at Slender Man, while kicking and punching at him. She doesn't get to go to lunch. I keck a little. Be me, sitting at a table with Unit 01-B. This is the perfect opportunity to introduce the unit, so I will do so here. Sitting across from me is Slender Man. Next to him is a black kid. There's really no other interesting thing about him, so we'll just name him Jerome. Sitting to the left of me is a quiet kid that I will refer to as Josuke, due to his crazy as fuck hair. The kid has hair like an eagle nest. To the right of Slender Man is a annoying little dickwad that we will be referring to as the Weeper. The Weeper didn't do anything too interesting to tell in this story, but he cried over every little thing. Redstone comes up. She starts doing her usual routine of telling Slender Man some weird creepy bullshit. I go into my room as to avoid the hellstorm that is about to come. It came, but it wasn't the hellstorm I expected. Hear the Weeper's horrifying wails of agony. Turns out that Redstone punched the Weeper in the face. He was 7. As annoying as the kid was, it would just be wrong to hit him. I tell Redstone that she shouldn't just hit a kid like that. She then says in ghetto speak, "Bitch, I'll hit you too." I really wish I could have punched the whore in the face. Be me. The next morning, me and Unit 01-B are sitting at the table again. This is when Super Tard comes in. He was a little niglet who drooled and chewed on his shirt all the time. Me and Unit 01-B all look in confusion as he runs around the facility speaking in Tard tongue. By tard tongue, I mean just a bunch of zombie-like moans followed with a few oohs. At this point, Redstone had already left, making Super Tard the flavor of the month. This begins the reign of Super Tard. Be me. The other kids are watching a movie in a separate room as I'm outside getting a drink of water. I walk back to my room to get something. That's when Super Tard fucking rams himself into my back and starts grabbing at me like a claw machine. Damn near scared the shit out of me. Tard Wrangler comes in and removes him from me. I wanted to take at least 5 showers that night. Be me, trying to sleep. Super Tard is still running around the facility. This time he's screaming like a banshee when we all finally decide to go to sleep. The little niglet was screaming for almost 2 hours, and yes, I kept count, not even kidding. At about 12 o'clock, I finally go to sleep. Wake up an hour later, hear screaming again, except this time it's getting closer and closer to my door. Super Tard pushes the door open, screaming at the top of his lungs. The little cunt gets up on my bed and starts trying to jump on me while clawing at me. Tard Wrangler comes in and grabs him, says sorry, and takes him out. Sorry's not gonna fix these bed sheets that I'll have to bleach 60 times from this thing's slobber. Be me. Me and Unit 01-B are sitting at the table again. Super Tard comes out of nowhere and starts trying to pounce on our chairs. He jumps on Jerome's chair and starts staring him down with drool coming out of his mouth. He then loses interest immediately and starts running again. We don't think anything of it. That is, until he takes a huge shit right next to us. A huge, lumpy megaturd drops right out of his pant leg. Dear God, the fucking size of that thing. It was about the size of his own face. At this point, Slenderman is laughing about it, Jerome is freaking out, and Josuke is incredibly uncomfortable. 'Twas a mixture of keck and disgust. To this day, we still don't know what the fuck happened. And that's all I can remember from that place. For now.